All right. Welcome to a Tribe Called Swish. This is B More, and I'm joined by my nephew, my actual nephew, not in the Snoop sense, Josh. So Josh, how do you just want to be Josh? You want to be like, how do you want to be addressed? So I can make sure I am being all respectful to you, Joshua Moore.
Oh God. No, you're my uncle. You call me Josh.
All right, cool. All right, so look, big night in the NBA last night, crazy night. Uh, Things are getting crazy in the playoffs, so interesting. So we're gonna kick it off with probably the biggest topic. LeBron is gone.
Yeah.
Luka is gone, and they didn't look good last night at all. What'd you see?
I saw LeBron's age showing in the game last night. Luca, he got hurt, but like I saw him kind of persevere through that injury to at least like help the team win. Like he hit some big shots. He had some like big assists. But I think the biggest thing is that he's a defensive liability. The Lakers don't have like really big defense right now, and so they don't have the big man. The big man that helped out on defense was AD, and he's gone. And so, I think last night kind of showed them that LeBron is not going to be playing much longer. Luka's going to be at the helm. I think the project of Luka and LeBron is probably going to be coming to an end. I think it should be done sooner rather than later. I think the trade was it's a great trade.
Right.
But on paper, you got two pass first guards and a forward before they go to second gear and go to I'm gonna go score since this person's not gonna take the lead on scoring. And they need to revamp the roster, honestly.
Yeah, that roster. That roster is which is why I don't understand why all these Lakers fans were so excited. Didn't understand the Shannon Sharp Lakers in 5 thing. Now, granted, I thought they were going to be out in 5 in the next round. Listen, I was one of the skeptics of Minnesota because I saw how they played. I know it was a meme early in the season how they said Anthony Edwards told Julius Randle he played basketball like he's playing in jeans, and that's kind of how they looked the first part of the season. And so I kind of tuned back into them like late March, April, going into the playoff run, and they were kind of a different team. They were able to Nas Reed is a beast. I mean, he killed them in the series. And Tatum McDaniels, even Mike Conley hit the big 3-pointer last night. Mike Conley is just as old as LeBron, but looks every age of like 75 the way he goes. So, but one thing I saw with the Lakers is crazy is what everyone's saying, and even like you touched on, is that they have no defensive strategy. They tried zone, they tried matchup zone, they tried man on man, and you can't do man on man when one of the men who's playing defense, Luka, can't play because for some reason, on offense he can move perfectly fine, but on defense, his lateral movement, nothing.
It's terrible. It's terrible. He's like he moves like an old man. Like he shouldn't be moving like that. He's only 26, so like no matter how much you weigh, you can still move very well as a 26-year-old. And he's what, 220? 6'6", 220?
It depends on the time of the season.
Yeah, because when he got traded, he was looking like 6'6", 200 pounds last night. He was definitely moving like 6'6", 220. But I think he needs to get like a defensive coach to help him, or like get like a different workout. But JJ Redick needs to have like that honest conversation with Luka and be like, all right, your mobility is a little trash right now, so we need to get you improved on your defense and your lateral movement, work on your agility and your speed, because we can't be having this, because LeBron's gone. He's going to be gone in either next year or two, and that's another hole in their defense. Well, I don't know if he was a defensive person, but he's
so one thing we saw with LeBron is that when he put his effort into defense, he's still a good defender, but he has nothing on offense. Like I think it was game 2 or 3 where he was being super physical, doing all the right things. Third and fourth quarter came, he had nothing on his jump shot. He had no lift. He wasn't driving. So, I mean, we have to accept that LeBron is old. I think number one, people who watch sports and basketball, we have to accept, like, look, he's old.
Yeah.
Keep expecting that he's got this one last spark, because look, he's done it before. I mean, to his credit, when we've doubted him, he pulled something out, But this is how the end looks. Even for someone as great as LeBron, the end comes. And it comes losing in the first round like this. So but I don't want to just bash the Lakers because the Timberwolves are the winners, and those are the ones who really deserve the credit. Anthony Edwards has arrived. Now I know that with his drama off the court, probably Adam Silver is like, I don't know if he wants to be the quote unquote face of the league. He's picking off baby mamas for the kid to go away. But but he's the guy the league needs. He talks shit. He's good. He's winning. He doesn't have that chip yet, but he's the guy. I mean, last night didn't shoot well, and any other. Well, I would not say because most superstars, when they're not shooting well, everything else falls apart. He was finding the open man, and that's what I wish most stars would do when the shot doesn't fall. Find the open guy, and that's how he hit Mike Conley for the big shot, and that's what he did. I mean, Timberwolves missed like 18 straight 3-pointers, which is insane.
Yeah, they were like 3 for 27 or 3 for 30 or something like that from three. They didn't hit a lot of them, but I think in the fourth quarter, because Anthony Edwards was like 0 from 10 for the entire game.
Right.
And but he definitely he has a motor that can't be taught. That's something that is just within you. And then you got to contribute that to his football side. No matter what it is, we still keep going. We could be down 40 and we'll still play ball. But Anthony Edwards is definitely a beast. He made it known that he's here. He took down KD last year, and now this year he took down LeBron. So whoever they play up next, this is going to be on his next list.
Yeah, I mean, he took down Jokic last year too. I mean, he is legend killer right now. Like he is,
for sure.
Like
he's a cool name.
Yeah, he is the legend killer. So it's exciting to see where this Timberwolves team can go. So they'll face either Golden State or Houston, which is a good transition to our next topic.
Oh gosh, yeah.
What happened with Golden State last night? Like they flew to Houston.
Yeah.
And I guess they left their games in Oracle because the crazy thing is I thought they were going to perform like that in the last game. I thought they were going to be like, hey, Steph is up, hey, Jimmy is out. It's cool. We'll drop this game. We'll get them back in Houston. Like I expected that Golden State team to show up in the last game. But the way how they came out last night, Jimmy was like 2 for 8. Steph was having this finger injury.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I mean, I know Houston is young. But as I told you last night, how funny would it be for them to drop another 3-1 lead? And with the way they played last night, it's possible.
I think they did that on purpose last night. People say like teams don't rig, like, don't tank games on purpose just to win at home. But I think they tanked last night's game on purpose with the intention to win, though, right? Like Steve Kerr emptied the bench in the third quarter, and they almost had a comeback, which was pretty crazy because they were down, 25-30?
Yep.
And they brought it down to like maybe 10 to 12?
I think it was 13,
13, yeah. So I think they had the intention of winning last night, but they're going to be at peace with the game going back to Oracle. And so I think they want to win in front of the fans to have more momentum to go into the next series. But yeah, last night they looked like they were, I don't know what it was. There was nothing there. There was no spark. There was no drive. They started off okay in the first 5 minutes of the first quarter, but then the Rockets caught on fire. Fred VanVleet was looking like Toronto Raptors Fred VanVleet.
Right.
Like he had 14 in the first quarter. He went 3 for 4 from 3 in the first quarter. And then he ended the game with 20 points? Man, and then Thompson came in with defensive prowess. Dylan Brooks playing like Dylan Brooks. He put up some good numbers up there too. Alperen Sengun is amazing.
Yeah.
He looks like a baby goat when he plays, but
he does. Yeah.
But that young team gave him a roach on their money last night. And I think that's what Ime Udoka's coaching. We have to contribute that to him as well.
Oh, absolutely.
His physicality, he loves that. He did that with the Celtics, and look what they did after he left. And so he's got good. You can tell that they have great coaching. That young team is something to be on the lookout for.
Absolutely. I think that's why I actually picked Houston to beat Golden State, is because I know you don't pick the young team. I get it. You
Yeah.
don't pick the young team. But most young teams don't have experience coaching. Like most young teams, a lot of times they have a coach who's kind of built just to get them there, and then they kind of bring in another guy to kind of get them over the hump. Ime has got to the finals with the Celtics, but he knows how to coach. He knows how to mold these guys. And so that's why I was like, Golden State's old. I don't know. Draymond is still anti-offense. And so I don't know if they can kind of really get, consistent scoring from other places. I know, listen, Jimmy is a scorer, but Jimmy's not a shooter. And so what happens is that sometimes, like we saw last night, when the shot doesn't fall and you can't get to the free throw line, he's a good on the offensive side. What is he going to contribute? I mean, he's slightly better than Draymond. And then you have to hope that Podziemski, he catches fire, and these other players. And we still don't know what's up with Kuminga. That's still a mystery that, that's still, but it's just, but
let's talk about it.
But what's like, we get Kuminga. But the only reason why I feel now that it's still Golden State series is because Houston can't shoot like that again.
Yeah.
Because that team is not good shooting. And the thing is that they play great defense, but we've seen in game 1 and in game 3, they can play as good defense as they can, but they can't put the ball in the hoop and they'll still lose.
Right.
And while I saw that during the season, I thought their shooting wouldn't be this bad. I didn't expect Jalen Green to be this garbage. Like, listen, I'm high on Jalen. He's one of the guys. I'm high on Jalen Green. All season, I'm high on him. But listen, I get it. It's his first playoffs. He's only 23. This is his third year in the league. I get all of that. But he's either not being aggressive, taking bad shots, just everything you can do to not play a good game. He's turned the ball over. Like, this is just like nothing is working with him. And then I look at like Amen Thompson, who's an athletic genetic freak.
Yeah.
Cannot shoot.
Not at all. Not even a mid-range.
Like, he doesn't know what to do. If he can't dunk, he doesn't know what to do with the ball on offense. And I'm like, this is weird. Like, this is just like him to be that age, in an age where most of these kids are like shooters. Like, they start shooting young. And like, it's because this is the Steph Curry generation. So I'm like, a 4 who can't shoot is just him nor his brother. Like, none of them can shoot. It's just so weird. But yeah.
I think that comes with like the development of the team too, right? Because I mean, you were 100% right. Like, it's a young team that they're inexperienced, but they have playoff experience with 2 players, right? So that's what I was saying. I think I touched on it with you a few days ago that Houston's going to be a beast along with the Wolves next year. Because I don't think, let's say they do come back and beat the Warriors, they're not going to get past the second round. Like, you have to shoot. You have to be able to be consistently shooting. You have to have multiple players to be able to put the ball in the basket, like you were saying. Like, you can't just rely. Defense can only do so much for you. It helps a lot, but you have to be able to score. You have to have consistent scorers. That's what I was saying. Like, they should trade for Anthony Simmons, honestly. Somebody who can score, who can be just aggressive as Jalen Green, but a little bit more consistent. Like, I think Amen Thompson is going to develop a jump shot. They call people are calling him the modern day Russell Westbrook. But the only thing is,
I can see that
Westbrook can shoot though. Like, if he's not slashing to the hoop, he's got a mid range, if anything, a really consistent mid range.
So tell me, what's your thoughts on Kuminga? What's going on with him?
I don't think he's a good fit for the Warriors, man. I think he needs to go to a different team. I think his media comments haven't helped his case, honestly. Like, I understand, like, when Kerr put him in, when Butler was out, he looked kind of rusty. He hasn't played in a few games or a few weeks, I think it was. But like, he helped him out in the regular season. But I don't think the Warriors are going to be a good fit for him. I think the Warriors should probably trade him for another piece that's like a Moses Moody kind of guy.
Right.
Like Moses Moody can shoot the ball, and he is really good on defense. His defense has gotten so much better. I think they need a guy that's gonna help relieve, like carry the weight, carry the burden. Because right now, Kuminga looks like he doesn't know what to do when he touches the floor. And one of the things that stood out for me was when he played, I think it was last game, or when Butler was out 2 games ago, game 2, I think it was. He turned the ball over so many times. He missed wide open layups, cut into the missed wide open passes, cut into the basket. He made some dumb passes that it looks like he forgot how to play with the team.
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to play like, let me prove myself ball instead of team ball, which is something that Steve Kerr wants. Everybody knows that it's Steph Curry's team. So like you trying to be like, let me show you I can hoop too. It's not going to, especially in the playoffs, it's not a good look. I'm a huge Jonathan Kuminga fan. I like him a lot. I don't think his place to shine is going to be with the Warriors. Like it's a Jordan Poole situation too, outside of like getting punched by Draymond.
Right.
But everybody saw how well Jordan Poole can hoop, right? And then he went to the Wizards. People can see more now, like he got handles. He can shoot. They're seeing his development as, a leader. And as the go-to guy, he can shoot a lot better. But I think Jonathan Kuminga needs that kind of situation. I hate that I was with the Wizards that Jordan Poole went to. He could have went to Sacramento, honestly. But
yeah,
I think Jonathan Kuminga needs that kind of situation there.
Yeah, I just like when I watch him play, I just don't know what he's great at. Like, I see he's athletic. I see that he knows how to move around the court. I see he has good court vision, but I just don't know what he's great at. Like, I don't he has the body of a 3, 4, but sometimes he has the handles of a 2, but he can't shoot. And so it's like he's a decent rebounder. He's a good defender, and he's like he has all these tools, but like none of them he's great at. And so that might be what Steve Kerr is like. I don't know where to put you to make you the most effective, because if he played to what people think is his potential, there would have been no need to bring in Jimmy Butler.
Right.
So he's got to be like, okay, well, look, they brought in Jimmy. I don't know. And I mean, that's a conundrum. Like, Steve, they brought in Jimmy. So what do we do? Because a lot of times is that it's, it's just that team, there's not really a spot for him. I mean, there's not, because Jimmy plays so much minutes, especially in the playoffs. He plays so many minutes. It's just not really enough minutes for him to get acclimated and for him to even get comfortable.
But I think that's what the whole point of bringing Jimmy Butler is, though, right? Like, they need someone to give Jonathan Kuminga some direction of to make him really good at something. Like, he's decent in a lot of areas, but I think they brought in Jimmy Butler to teach Jonathan Kuminga to either exceed on defense or be a pass first kind of guy. Because anything that'll keep you on the court is smart decisions. Like, we all know that. Right. So I think that's what they brought in Jimmy Butler for, to teach Jonathan Kuminga. And then with the whole Jimmy Butler trade, it makes sense because they needed, the Warriors were ranked 23rd in defense before the trade. And so they needed that defensive help. And now they're tied first for turnovers, tied first of getting points off the fast break, in clutch situations. Their defense is top tier, like we saw in game 3 against the Rockets. So I think, or game 4 against the Rockets, but it's something. Kerr is a smart coach. People bash him because it's decision making, but when it comes to roster moves and bringing in players, he brings them in with the reason that this person is going to help the team. This person is going to be the answer to our solutions right now. I think he brought in Jimmy Butler to help train Jonathan Kuminga to excel at something else.
Right.
But I do want to touch on something else that you mentioned earlier about Anthony Edwards. Yeah. About being the face of the league.
Okay.
We can't forget about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Oh that's something for another time. We'll talk about Shai only because they're not playing. But no, I agree. That's something else. That's next time. I got you. No, I got you. No, I'm big on them. I think they're probably going to They'll be in the finals. I don't think there's a team in the West that can beat them. But no,
they're fine in the
get the
West.
SGA. We'll get the SGA. All right. So next, second. All right. So next, so because we'll probably have to end this Zoom and then start another one because yeah, but I think it's going to end in 10 minutes. But I'll keep my eye on the time.
All right, cool.
So next, something that's dear to your heart, the Milwaukee Bucks. Like, Giannis is one of my favorite players in the league.
Okay.
And this pains me to watch him these last 2 to 3 years of this exit in the playoffs. I probably when I look at my top 5 players who I just like, not saying they're the best in the league, but who I just really like follow and like, he's probably easily like number 3, sometimes number 2. Because you can't hate Giannis. Like he's just he's like there aren't many players that are just strictly hater proof. You can't hate Giannis, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I see him carrying this team, literally carrying this team, to victories. And he looks around and he sees Kyle Kuzma. He's got to be like, why am I here? You know, he's got to be like, why am I here? Like, why? You know, so more specifically, they choked on the stretch. Like that's and I think it's crazy they did it against the Pacers. The Pacers did the same thing against, the Knicks like almost 30 years prior. So that's kind of a sense of symmetry there. But just that choking job that they did. Yeah. Gary Trent dropping a pass, which is crazy. I think Giannis, even though for players of his talent and of his stature, it's a lot of times it's damn if you do, damn if you don't. So in that last play in regulation, he took a turnaround jumper. We both know Giannis is not the best jump shooter. AJ Green, who was a better jump shooter, was wide open right next to him. That would have been a better play. Now I know you're going to have the Skip Baylesses and Stephen A. Smith of the world going to say, shoot the ball. But Giannis had 2 people in his face. AJ Green was the better shot. And listen, I get it. When you're that great, you feel you can do it. But that's not true. Especially falling and turning around. That's not what he does. If he was going downhill, absolutely cool. But doing what he was doing, nothing. So what are you seeing with this Bucks team?
A lot of people say that the Bucks are going to trade Giannis.
Please don't. That'd be stupid.
That's what I say, right? That's what I'm saying, right? Don't trade him. Don't trade him.
You can't get equal value.
and then that puts him back like 3 or 4 more years. If the Bucks trade Giannis, that sets them back like 3 or 4 years. It doesn't put them forward because it puts them in a further rebuilding situation. Giannis is what, 28, 29 now?
Yeah, something like that.
He still has a lot of time. I think the Bucks need to just blow it up, get some stars around, like some actual consistent stars around Giannis, and just start over. Honestly, like get rid of Doc Rivers, get rid of the GM, like get rid of the owner. Like it's just blow everything up and start all over because I think the only smart decision they made was getting rid of Chris Middleton.
I agree. I think they did that probably a year too late. I think the problem with the Bucks is that I think their contract situation. So I think Giannis, he signed that extension, so he's set. Dame still has 2 more years on his contract, and he's going to be out at least a year with that Achilles.
Yeah.
So I think Kuzma is up for an extension, so they probably won't keep him. But I think they've got some other contracts it's just, and it's hard to get people to come to Milwaukee. That's also, I know that's your hometown. That's where you grew up. But, Milwaukee is not Chicago. And it's hard for people to get to come to Chicago even at this point. So it's hard to get a player to come to Milwaukee because it's just not a sexy city, right?
Yeah.
But
I think Milwaukee's underrated though. I'm sorry. Like Milwaukee's underrated though. Like, I think the best thing that happened to 2 of the best things that happened to Milwaukee was Giannis and winning that finals with Giannis. Like the city grew with Giannis. And Milwaukee rewards like loyalty, which is something that Giannis is about. As you can see, like he brought his brothers over. He got Thanasis out of the team. Like that's great. But I think they poured their money way too much in their foundational players, which is why they're in a situation with the contracts, right? Like if they didn't give Chris Middleton that stupid extension for 5 years and like almost 100 million, like
right.
Why? And they rewarded loyalty, but I think the Bucks have to be honest with themselves and be like, okay, they probably will extend Kyle Kuzma because he's a star, right? Like
they
gave him they're giving a role. Kyle Kuzma is really a role player, but they're giving him star attention and they're probably going to give him star money. I think they brought over Damian Lillard. I thought on paper it looks good with Giannis, right? Because when they brought over Damian Lillard, they were expecting Portland Damian Lillard put up 30 consistently every game, having some assists. Like I thought that's what they were expecting from Damian Lillard. And honestly, I was too, because the dude can ball, but I don't know what happened with him when he got to Milwaukee. It's like
I can tell you
how to shoot.
A few things happened. With Dame. Number one, he got a divorce. All right.
That's right.
So that was the big thing. So he was going through a divorce. He was his family did not come to Milwaukee. Like I think from what he was saying, his kids would come visit, but he's really by himself in Milwaukee.
Right.
And this is the first time he's really been by himself like that.
Yeah.
So I think last season with the coaching, I think that didn't go well. I don't understand. For me, it's just simple. You have Dame, who's a great jump shooter. You have Giannis, who's an athletic freak. Mm-hmm. Pick and roll people until they die. Right? I don't understand this. It's what the Warriors did with Steph.
Yeah.
And they have Draymond, and Draymond is not nearly the player that Giannis is. But for some reason, like I know, like last year they were like toward the bottom of the league in pick and roll, and this year they were better with it. But these things and also the inability to get Dame open shots, and again, it's just how they run their offense.
Yeah.
Doc Rivers is not a good coach, and we as a basketball community, we need to gather around, huddle the masses, sing Kumbaya hand in hand, and just admit that Doc Rivers is not a good coach. He got lucky, and that's okay. People get lucky every day. He got lucky. He got that chip with the Celtics. Yeah. And he's been an average coach ever since then. But he keeps getting these teams with so much talent. Like every team he's gone on, that he's had since the Celtics have had Hall of Fame talent. And every single team, he's blown it. So it's not the teams, obviously. It's him.
The coach.
It's really him. And we've got to come around and admit that.
I think the best coach, there's two coaches that are available right now that can help the Bucks get to a better position. Mike Malone, Mike Scott from the Kings, and Taylor Jenkins from the Grizzlies, former coach. Those three coaches, I don't know about Scott though, but those three coaches can definitely help the Bucks get to a better position. Because honestly, I think Mike Malone might be the better option because he ran pick and roll with Jokic and Jamal Murray. He had Jamal Murray running picks for Jokic.
Yep.
And then still made Jamal Murray look like the best player on the team. Like he has 2 stars and made them work. And then he made those role players still look good. Like Aaron Gordon putting up almost 15 to 20 a game. Yep. And then like being a rebounding beast. And then like he had Westbrook looking, almost looking amazing. Like what you said in your text, like
better.
It's like, no. And then like, So it's like
exactly right.
So I think Mike Malone might be the best person to come over. And he's got that swagger to him, right? Like I think the Bucks need a little bit more swagger.
So if the Knicks fumble this, I mean, I don't see why you keep Thibodeau. I mean, and I know we're kind of jumping topics a little bit, but because he's got the most he can out of this team.
Yeah.
And this team is good enough to beat Detroit, and they're good enough to beat a lot of the top teams. But they were like 0-18 against the top teams in the league this year.
Yeah.
So,
but they give them a run for the money though. But
you as a coach, as the head of this team, is measured by wins and losses. Games. And if you can't beat the top teams, especially in the second half of the season, because your players are tired, because you play them 40 minutes a night for no real reason, and you don't want to use an actual rotation, which is what people who coach do, then, I mean, we saw the same thing with the Bulls. Is just eventually Thibodeau's way wears thin, and you have to make a change. Brunson is young enough. Cat is still young enough where it's where you're not kind of killing their careers. So you've got Cat is probably, I would say Cat is still in his prime. Jalen is entering his prime. So you got two people who are in the prime of their careers, and the last thing you want is for Thibodeau to kill them because he's playing them so many minutes. So
I don't think Cat has entered his prime yet. I think this is the start of his prime. I think it's the start of his prime. Yeah, because I think with Minnesota, he was underappreciated. The market was super small, so we didn't really fully see what Cat was capable. But I think it's also about culture too, right? So like the culture of your team and the culture where you're getting traded to helps you. I believe that helps is what into your prime. So I think with Minnesota, he was looked at as a soft person. Like he got babied a lot. He got, that's that famous picture of DeMarcus Cousins and Cat getting bullied down in the paint. And
so what if I told you this is Cat's 10th season in the league? Do you still think that he's like, I had to look it up because I'm like, when you say, I'm like, he's 10 years deep. You think he's got that much more to give us? Or this is it? Because 10 years. This is his 10th season.
I know. I think he's got more. There's no way. I don't
think this is the end. I'm not saying this is the end. But you're saying that he's just entering his prime. I don't know if he gets a much better. I think this is his top.
This is his ceiling?
I think this is his ceiling. I don't think he gets much better than this.
I think he gets better. I think because again, it's Knicks culture, right? It's New York. I think Cat being in New York is probably the best thing that's happened to him in his career.
I agree.
And I think with the ceiling, because he's still young, right? What is he, like 20? He's also 26 or something like that right now, too?
Yeah. This 10th season is he probably like 28 because if this 10th season, 1 year in Kentucky. So probably 28, 29.
Okay, so then I think he's got another. He could have like his prime could be last like another 2 years. Okay. But I think because of the culture helps build your prime. I think we will see a different type of Cat this year because we got to remember like he got traded over like in the middle of the season. I think it was
beginning. It was at the very beginning.
The very beginning of the season, and we see like how we can really see on a big market scale, right? Because it's New York versus Minnesota. His stats, like he can literally score like 30 a game, and like we're able to see his like grit. His defense has gotten better because if Tom Thibodeau is your coach, you are going to play defense. He's now a much better two-way player. I don't think he's as soft as he was in Minnesota.
Not at all.
New York brought that grit and grind type of player outside of Cat, and I think we'll see more of that over the next couple of years. Like it's going to be, we'll see a different type of Cat.
So what do you think about the series, though? So let's talk about the Pistons and Knicks. All right, the Knicks are up 3-2.
Yeah,
and just as I said before, I mean it's 3-2, but outside of game one, where they went on this improbable like 23-0 run, which was insane, which I think that's just the youth of Detroit. Just like, oh, this is different. This series has been tight. I think, man. I think the Knicks are gonna get the lemon booty tonight. I just Jalen Brunson. Okay, let me preface this by saying Jalen Brunson is a beast.
Yes.
Full stop. The fourth quarter, that little that little touch shot off the glass, it falls all the time.
Yes.
Absolute beast. Cat has proven himself in the fourth quarter, hitting big shot after big shot. Something that I would have taken that bet against him every single time. And I obviously would have lost a lot of money. Would have lost a lot of money. But I just think that the role players, I think Mikal Bridges, I don't
know what happened to him.
He's been inconsistent. He's hit some big shots in the series, but he's been inconsistent. Mitchell Robinson being back, he's a presence, but my favorite player on the Knicks, Josh Hart, who I think is like baby Draymond, how they're using him. You know, he doesn't get ejected nearly as much. You know, like I just feel like there's a momentum swing with Detroit right now, and I think Detroit can win this series, but I think it's going 7. I feel tonight. I don't think the Knicks can close them out tonight.
I think the Knicks will close them out tonight, but the big thing about it is that the Warriors and the Knicks are on the same boat right now. They have to shut out this series, and the Knicks have to shut it out in this game, and the Warriors need to shut it out at home too in that next game. There's no room for them to give up a 3-1 lead. Like, if I think I can't see the Knicks blowing this one. I can't, because in the sense of like now all of their players are back, but the only question mark right now is Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson had some big injuries the last game. So it's also going to be like, how are they going to? What's their mobility like this game?
Right.
Are they going to be good enough? Like, are we going to see them limping? Like, what's the reports going to be like? It's a game time decision, but knowing Tom Thibodeau is going to make them play.
Right.
And like that, and this is a game, and I think Tom Thibodeau is also aware of that. This is a game where, like, I don't care if you got a broken toe, put some dirt on it. This is a game that we got to close out today. Like, there's no room for that. I'm not arresting you. I don't care if you're in pain. Get a shot, get on, move on with it. But I think this is the point where this is the make or break for a lot of people, for the coaches' careers. But the Knicks are not going to go out. They're not going to take the game to Game 7. Also, the Pistons are a young team too. I don't think their experience is not going to be there to take over.
So my hesitation with that is kind of goes back to your reasoning with Golden State. Is that I just wonder if they're like, we got another one at home. We're beat up. We're banged up. We still have, we can close this out at home. So how much effort will they give? If the Pistons come out and punch them in the face, will they just be like, all right, cool, we'll get you at home, we'll get you at home in a couple of days. And that's why I'm leaning toward the Pistons tonight, is because I just wonder if the Pistons are aggressive, if the Knicks won't fold because yes, they're beat up. And it's this series has been really physical for both teams. And will they just be like, you know what? We'll catch you in Game 7 in the Garden, and we'll close you out there.
I see your point. I see why you would say that. I think the biggest thing, the Knicks shot themselves in the foot with their last game. That should have been a game when they were on home court. That should have been their closeout game. The door went from being open to just a little bit to now a little bit bigger for the Pistons to make a comeback and win this series.
Right.
But I think this game, the Knicks have to close it on their court, on Pistons home court.
Yeah.
And then just get that rest and take a break and then start the next series, whoever they play against. They play the Pacers, or whoever wins this round plays the Pacers next round, right? The winner of the Knicks Pistons play against the Celtics.
Okay. There we go. All right. So So
it's Cavs, Pacers.
Cavs. Okay, they're the lower seed. Okay, that's right. All right.
Yeah.
So that's like the Knicks were the 3 seed. Okay.
No, Knicks were the 4? No, they're 3 seed.
3 seed. Okay.
No, they're 3. Right. You're right. Yeah.
So so like I don't. Feeding, I mean, listen, if the Knicks somehow figure out a way to win this game, they're going to be limping into the Celtics series. And the thing is, if they lose this game and have to go 7, it's going to be even worse. So really, this is kind of a lose-lose situation for the Knicks.
Yeah, for sure.
It kind of really is. Like, I think going with what you're saying, they should have closed out the Pistons in the last game, but. I don't like, I know like it's people are like, oh, the Eastern Conference Playoffs is more than just Cavs Celtics, but it really isn't, because I don't see a way for the Knicks or the Pistons to beat the Celtics. And I damn sure don't see the Pacers beating the Cavs right now.
Listen. You see this right here?
I see that.
This is who I got for everything. I became a Celtics fan when Rondo was there and KG, the big four, was there. But I was definitely a huge fan when Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown got there.
Yeah.
And then Joe Mazzulla, my God. Okay. I can see the Celtics go back to back.
All right. Yes, I can see Celtics go back to back. I'm a Celtics fan too. I do not like Joe Mazzulla. He annoys the hell out of me. I think he is, is there a version of a pick me boy? That's him. He's like, oh, when they asked him about, what was it? Was it the Royals were visiting the States, and they're like, how do you feel the king and queen? He's like, I only know what Jesus, what Mary. I'm like, what are you talking about, my guy? What are you talking about? Just answer the question like a normal human being. Just be normal for once in your life. Just be normal. So,
but think about it. Like Ime Udoka is like that too, though. Like that's the culture in Boston.
But Ime is funny and not corny, and no matter what, I can always laugh at Ime for fumbling me along. Yeah. It's okay, But Joe Mazzulla is just listen. It's okay to be a dork. It's fine. It's cool. But he does it at such a level that makes. I'm just like, I respect his coaching. I respect what he's doing, but I do not want to hear him talk ever. Like
I love it. I love it. I think it's good for the team though, because I think honestly, Ime, if Ime didn't like do what he did in Boston, right?
Yeah,
he would have also toughened up Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum more.
Absolutely.
Joe Mazzulla is doing what Ime should have done.
Oh, definitely.
And I liked it when, granted, Jayson Tatum broke his wrist or something like that, but he told the trainer, don't go out there and help him. Give it up.
But that's so weird. It's so weird, man. Like
man.
But that's what I'm saying. That's a try hard. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just trying too hard. Like,
but if you know your team is soft, though, he's addressing his team like being soft, but in a different way, though.
I know that. I get what he's trying to do. It's how he's doing it that makes it sound so okay, don't help him up there. No, my guy, that is your max contract player. Y'all better pick him up and lift him on his shoulders. Like no. If Peyton Pritchard went down, sure, don't help him up. No, that is your max player. Listen, you bench players, you lay on the court, you let him walk on you to the bench. Okay? All right. And also another person on this podcast who will not have any slander, Jayson Tatum. Okay. I am tired of kids your age and younger talking about he has no aura. Okay. I am annoyed by that. I am annoyed by that. This man comes out there and dominates every single game, and y'all complain about his aura. Man, please. Hey, stop him. Stop him.
Okay. Perspective, right? Okay, let's think about this for a second. This man had the ability to play in the Olympics. He actually played in the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
How many points
the first couple games, and then that was it.
Why? Why did he only play 2 games? And it's not about the roster. You could say you could contribute it to the roster, but like, how many points did he put up in those 2 games?
He did. He struggled. He struggled. I am not saying that he's not without his struggles, because he struggled in the playoffs. That's why Jaylen Brown got the MVP. He struggled in the finals. He struggled in the prelims and the Olympics. I'm not saying he didn't have like a 3-month run of just like not good basketball. What I am telling you is this man is all NBA. This man is an MVP contender. This man got them to a point where, listen, playoffs were rough, but the first round he was good, and then everything after that he was, he was shaky to garbage. But you put him on the court, he is one of the best players. Top 2 and probably not number 2 unless Shea is out there. All right. Shea or Jokic is out there. So, that's what I'm saying. I have Tatum over Ant. All right. It's SGA. Well, not in general, not just MVP right now. And just in general.
Oh, okay.
In general.
Okay.
I have probably Jokic number 1, SGA,
okay,
Tatum. That's the 3 right now. And so
that's the 3. That's the 3. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And so saying he has no aura, no. The man is the top, is one of the best players in the league. His aura is being great. That's it.
But it has to show though. So like people could say that like you know the saying, like it's great that you can do this in the regular season, but when it comes to like to actual time in the postseason playoffs, the postseason run, where are you? Like that's why Jaylen Brown, like you said before, that's why Jaylen Brown got the Finals MVP. That should have been Jayson Tatum's Finals MVP trophy hanging up in his closet, not Jaylen Brown. Now, this is no in no way, shape, or form like Jaylen Brown slander, Jayson Tatum slander. Right. I'm saying that Jayson Tatum we all know during the regular season, he's going to show up, show out, do what it do, drop 30 with ease and no problem about it, right?
Yeah.
But in the playoffs, he probably averaged like maybe 15 to 20 and then disappear. I think Jayson Tatum, he needs to toughen up when it comes to the playoffs. Not lay on the floor every time he get knocked down. Like Giannis does the same thing. Giannis, he will do the same thing. When you got Giannis on your team, you know what you can expect. Right. When the playoffs come, Giannis is dropping 35, 20, and 15 if he wants to. Yep. Jayson Tatum is probably averaging like maybe 15, 28, and 5. Like he just has to step up a little bit more.
I agree.
In the playoffs.
But he's had good play. Listen, he's not a third, fourth year player. He's had good playoff runs before.
Oh, for sure. When he was younger,
run where they lost to Golden State, he had a great playoff run. He didn't just have a good playoff run last year. And I think people are really missing out on how great Tatum is by saying he's either like I've heard people say that he's boring. I'm like,
nah.
What Tatum will bam on you? Like he's not. For sure. I'm just gonna shoot threes. So yeah. For sure. But so sorry, we completely.
No, you're fine. I just want to say for you're fine. I just want to say Jayson Tatum. The world noticed Jayson Tatum in the playoffs against the Cavs when LeBron was there.
Right.
When he punched on Bron and yelled in his face. Oh, I was a fan. I was a fan.
Exactly.
I was a fan.
Yeah, like, so no Tatum slander. No Tatum slander at all.
For sure. Right. He was a beast.
So for our last basketball topic, let's talk about this Clippers Nuggets series, which I can't call it. This series is confusing. Every way that I thought it was going to go, it's going the opposite way. And so I don't like, if you told me, like, I'm just happy finally playoff Jamal Murray has finally decided to kind of show up because
43.
Right. Because that's what I have been relying. Anything I've picked or talked about with these Nuggets, it was like, okay, playoff Jamal Murray is going to show up. I don't understand why this player doesn't appear in the regular season, but doesn't matter. Here we are, we're in the playoffs. And playoff Jamal Murray has been not there, but he showed up the other night, 43 points. I mean, Jokic only had a triple double, but it was like 13, 10, and 12, something like that. So what are you seeing in this series?
I think in this series, to me, I'm not excited by this series. I think the series is boring. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. It's really like, I understand why the league put the game on like NBA League Pass. Like they didn't really put it on like, the streams where like everybody can get access to it versus the other games. Because what game are you going to put it over? You're going to put it over the Knicks Pistons? You're going to put it over Lakers Wolves, LeBron and Anthony Edwards? You're going to put it over Warriors Rockets, Steph Curry and Dylan versus Dylan Brooks, the most physical team, one of the most physical series that we've seen probably in a long time outside the Knicks and Pistons. And then Boston Celtics versus Orlando. That was also another physical game. So like this was, I think the Nuggets and Clippers series is more like a slow paced veteran versus veteran kind of game. Like it wasn't, I don't think.
Wow.
I can't be excited for the series.
So,
and I'm a Kawhi fan too. I'm glad he's healthy and he's killing like he should, but I'm not excited.
This series has everything you would want. You've got Russell Westbrook in game one, being Russell Westbrook, literally getting a steal, layup, bad defensive assignment, missing a jump shot, getting a game-winning steal. It was the perfect Russell Westbrook game. Game 2 wasn't as good. Game 3, I think that was the Kawhi and James Harden game when they both went off.
Yeah.
Game 4 was the Aaron Gordon
the buzzer beater. Yeah.
Right. Game 5, Jamal Murray comes to play. Like this series that is crazy that you think is that is crazy.
It's not the series
surprising.
For me, man. I think because Nikola Jokic, and correct me if I'm wrong, kind of plays like Magic Johnson in a way, right?
Okay,
but like a little slower and bigger, right? So I think like people like if you are a Jordan era type of person, like that's going to be your type of game because you liked that. That's the era that you grew up on, right?
Okay.
I was born in 95, so like I was like in the middle, right, towards the end of the Jordan era, going into like the LeBron, Steph Curry era. So like if you were a person that's used to like Magic, Jordan, Pippen, Dennis Rodman, all those other guys, like Charles Barkley era, like that's the game that you would want, right?
Yeah.
But like for guys, people like me, okay?
Yep.
I'm excited to see our era, like the Legends versus the Newcomers series. I'm more excited about that because we have multiple faces of the leagues in multiple different games that are fast-paced, that are physical, that are like they're gonna talk stuff. Like you're getting that. You're getting the I'm gonna talk trash to your face. I'm gonna let you know you suck. I get my Jimmy Butler, I get my Draymond Green, I get my Dylan Brooks, I get like the Pistons, like the turnaround franchises coming up that I can see all the time. Like those are the series. Like I want to see how these people do in the playoffs. The Clippers and Nuggets. It's like I'm watching old heads in LA Fitness try to
wow,
try
that is so disrespectful.
That they still get it, but like. Because, like, I mean, think about it, man. Like, you got your young guns in the series that you can watch all the time versus the old heads. It's like, yeah, like we've been in the playoffs, so we know how to do this. Like,
but Kawhi and James Harden, Harden has a your generation game. Now, granted, he's not Houston James Harden, so he's not there. But James Harden is balling, and Kawhi is finally the Kawhi we've been waiting on for years. And listen, I know Jokic plays at a slower pace, but man, seeing a 7', 260 guy making no-look passes, making the right passes. Now, yes, they don't have probably like that on the Nuggets. They don't have that star player that kind of like draws you in. I get that. I get that part. But they play a good brand basketball.
Oh, team basketball. Yeah.
Right. But the Clippers have the stars. The Clippers have Harden and Kawhi. That is crazy. I did not see that coming. I did not.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I was already a James Harden fan when he was with the Thunder, right? Like, and prime James Harden was in Houston. He spent all of his prime years in Houston, and then the whole drama came off, right?
Yeah.
If we were still getting like prime James Harden on the Clippers right now, I think that would be and then you got prime Kawhi on the same team right at that time. Yeah. Then you've got must-watch series. Like that's why it's been on the NBA TV. Like I'd be really excited to see that too. Like you see James Harden probably throwing lobs for days to Kawhi or whatever it is, case may be. But I don't think this is the series, and I think it's because the league did this on purpose to put it on that streaming service. Is because of like. There's no young, like, there's only one young star that everybody's going to be looking out for, and that's Nikola Jokic.
Right.
Like, the Clippers have two old stars. They're all stars. No, there's no slander allowed for those two, right? But, like, who else you got outside of those two? Because those two are probably going to retire in the next maybe 2-3 years, if that, unless James Harden decides to cry or Kawhi Leonard gets hurt again.
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to watch the series and then Kawhi tweaks his ankle and then he's out for the entire series up until next year. Like it's too much risk and not enough reward. So that's why I'm not excited for the series.
All right. So with these games, so wrapping up our basketball talk. So with these games, Pistons, Knicks. Who's your pick?
Knicks.
Knicks. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Pistons tonight. All right. And Clippers, Nuggets. I know you don't care about this game, but who's your pick?
That's a tough one though. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say Clippers.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So we're going 7. All right. All right. So with that said, so we're gonna move into some non-basketball talk. All right. So I know you want to talk about Shedeur. So what's your take on Shedor's crazy drop from first round to 5th round?
I think Shedeur got robbed, and I think. Let me get my information right. I want to do a fact check with you real quick.
Okay.
Deion Sanders was his agent.
Yes.
Okay. I think Deion set his son up for failure unintentionally.
Okay.
He has the mindset of a player in the NFL, but not corporate office, head coach, GM, players, essential perspective in the league. Like he had to catch up to the game and the rules of it and the game, but not vice versa. You know what I mean? So like him telling Shedeur, like, Shedeur not coming prepped to these interviews and telling them like, oh, if you want to change the culture, stuff like that, don't draft me. I think it was a great message. I don't think it should have been delivered right then and there.
Okay.
I think he should have. I think he should still say it. I think he should have said it after he got drafted to a team.
Right.
Like if he got drafted, I think if all the media stuff, I think he also got hit because he's Deion Sanders' son, and Deion telling teams don't draft. I don't want my son to go to your team, or he making it known, like the public, criticism of like, I wouldn't go to this team if I'm a young cat. Like you can't be doing that, right? Like I think Deion Sanders sort of stay focused on Colorado, and I think he's doing great work there in Colorado. But I think Shedeur got set up for failure unintentionally. I think it's perfectly fine to have an ego. I think people were saying his ego hurt his draft stock, and I don't think that's correct at all. I think ego was good because Baker Mayfield came in with a fat ego.
True.
Johnny Manziel came in with a fat ego on top of other stuff that he was doing. At Texas A&M, party boy, Baker Mayfield holding his crotch, stamping the flag in Oklahoma against Ohio State. People still drafted that, but I think Deion knows the game to a certain extent, but he should have set Shedeur up for success, teaching them how to play the game and still be considered a high draft stock. And I think that if we all know Shedeur should have probably been like a top 10 draft pick, not a top 3, a top 10.
Yeah.
I think his dad hurt his stock. He's got game. He can ball.
I don't doubt that. Something I heard Bomani Jones say that is kind of weird, I'm kind of landing on it, is that maybe Deion got bad information. Maybe Deion got bad information that Shedeur was being viewed as a higher pick than what he really was. Yeah. So maybe he was really, the league's expectation of him was maybe really high 2nd round pick, right?
Yeah.
Top of the 2nd round. But with how he approached everything, that made people be like, okay, well, if he's around later, maybe. And I think that's where I'm starting to land at. Like I saw people being like, oh, he's a black quarterback. I'm like, Cam Ward with them 1 pick, so I don't know about
it. Doesn't apply. Yeah.
Right. And Cam Ward isn't humble. Like I've seen him in interviews, I've seen him do things, So that's why I'm not sure if it's the ego. I think they overplayed their hand. I think they thought that the decision was between him and Cam Ward. Like that people's decision was between him and Cam Ward. So if Cam Ward is gone, then he's definitely, and that wasn't the decision. Right. And this wasn't a Peyton Manning, Ryan Leaf thing. Right. Eli, Shedeur isn't Eli Manning where people are like, you could say, yes, you could call your shots. So I think they overplayed their hand. And I think I agree with you that Deion either getting like overplaying his hand, getting bad information, all of these things, and Shador ends up where they didn't want him to be. And not only did he end up where he didn't want to be in Cleveland, he's gonna have to compete among 4 other quarterbacks, and he lost $30 million at least. So it's like, it's like nothing went well for Shador in this one.
I think I have a different perspective on that. I think it's really competition against Joe Flacco and Dylan Gabriel. Like if I'm Shador, I'm not looking at Deshaun Watson as like a competitive quarterback. No, I'm not. I don't think they'll ever play him again. I think they're going to cut him or trade him for some more picks in the future.
Yeah,
or another player. But Joe Flacco is all close to LeBron's age, right? I think he's like 37.
Yeah, he's old. Yeah, Flacco. Yeah,
I don't. Yeah, he's like one bad sack away from being out. Granted, Joe Flacco can ball. Like we're studying, like what he did last year for the Browns was amazing, right?
Right.
But he's one bad sack away from being out, and then you're down to Dylan Gabriel, Shador Sanders. I like Oregon. I'm a huge Oregon fan. I like Oregon. I'm a huge fan, but I'm not putting Dylan Gabriel over Shador.
Not at all.
If anything, if I'm Kevin Stefanski, I'll start Joe Flacco, have him mentor both Dylan Gabriel, Shador Sanders, and if Joe Flacco gets hurt, I'm starter Shador. I'm making sure that he gets some reps with the starters. But I think the league is going to blackball Shador if the cards don't get played right. I think he'll get blackballed in the NFL like Colin Kaepernick, honestly.
I don't see it going that far. I think he just has to play ball. I think it's going to be hard for him to show what he can do in Cleveland. They don't really have a lot going on for them. But I think if he gets out there and shows that, that he's in for the team and everything, I think he'll be okay. I don't foresee this happening because there's no reason for the league to hate him like Kaepernick. I think they just kind of want to tap on the shoulder, like you're Deion's son, you're not Deion, and I think he'll be okay. Like just on the last note, like I watched Colorado play a few times, I watched Miami play a few times. I still, to me, think Shador is the better quarterback than Cam. To me, from what I saw in the field, like I get that Cam has a stronger arm, but what I saw with Shador, I mean, a terrible offensive line. He had when you give him weapons, he had terrible offensive line and no running game, but he had weapons on the outside, and he was able to make magic happen. Highest completion percentage in the nation. I don't know. I just always liked him over Cam Ward, and I think Jackson Dart went ahead of him. I would never trust any quarterback coached by Lane Kiffin. It's never worked out ever in the history of football for him. So Lane Kiffin knows how to make magic happen for quarterbacks in college, but none of his quarterbacks have ever panned out to do anything in the pros. And people always bite on them. So,
for sure. I think I'm excited for next year. Also, I think I can be at peace with Cam Ward going in the first round, being the first round pick, because the Titans need a quarterback.
Right.
And Cam Ward also made it known that he's a Tennessee Titans fan. Mm-hmm. And my God, look at his running back picks.
Right. Yeah.
His wide receiver picks. So it makes sense. But I'm excited for this next generation, honestly. I don't think this was a year of quarterbacks, honestly, outside of Shador and Cam Ward. This was not the year for quarterbacks.
I agree.
Jaden Daniels next year, though, for the Commanders, ball out. I'm excited for it. I could talk football all day, but it's not what we get to talk about.
Word. All right, last topic. The thing that's been setting the internet on fire: 100 men versus one gorilla. I do not see why this is a thing, because the one gorilla is sleeping any combination of 100 men. I don't care if you duplicate 100 Mike Tysons. I don't care if there is 100 UFC fighters. I don't care if there's whoever you want to put this competition for 100 men. It's no weapons. No weapons, okay? That's the thing I think people are misunderstanding. There is no weapons. So this one gorilla is going to wash 100 men. And it's going to go various ways. It's either going to be he's going to kill the first 5 and the other 85 are just going to run and go home.
Right.
Or if it's just 100 arrogant men, it's going to be a slow maul to the death. Did we not see Planet of the Apes? These are the members that are closest to us.
Mm-hmm.
They're stronger than us. They're faster than us. We have no advantages except numbers. I don't understand why people are like, no, 100 men.
100 men is good.
Yeah.
No, I feel like 100 is not even good enough. That's not enough. 100 is not enough, honestly. I you need about 400 people, if that.
At least. It's just, I don't listen. This is just like human arrogance that we're just like, hey, we're human. We can do. Like, have y'all been to a zoo? Do y'all realize how big these animals are?
And they're fast.
Yes.
They're so fast. Like somebody said, if we got Shaq, Dwight, Rudy, not Rudy Gobert, it was somebody else. It was like all the big men centers.
It doesn't matter. We're human. We're fragile people. We're fragile. We don't have the strength just even to pierce their skin we don't have no one like
hands, yeah.
So no, you could get 100 Shaqs. 100 Shaq. Prime Shaq. Not old broken foot Shaq. Prime, Magic, Lakers Shaq. Whatever Shaq you want to get. You know? Me Shaq. Shadrach. Abednego. All of them. Take it, all of them.
It's not happening. It's not happening at all. Oh man, yeah, man. 100. I don't even know how that conversation got started. Honestly, 100 men versus one gorilla. That's insane.
Somebody made a tweet and said, "I believe that we could take one gorilla," and then it got retweeted, and then it just became this big topic. And I'm just like, I can't believe this has gone this far. And I've heard people who I respect saying, "No, I think we could." No, the human race is not ready to face one gorilla. That's really all I wanted to say. Like, I just couldn't believe that this has been even a discussion over like the past 3 days. But the human race is not taking on a gorilla.
Unless you give it a trank dart, and then it's Grogan still fights him, and there's a possible chance.
Right. There has to be some equalization of this. It's just you're just not going to wake up a gorilla and say, "Okay, go." No. Yeah. All right. So Josh, man, this has been fun. It's been good. Just number one, hanging out with you for this long. We don't get to do that too much, but thank you for joining. We might try to do this more often. I think this could be a thing.
So, yeah, I'm all for it, man.
All right. So that's Josh. This is more for Tribe Called Swish. Signing out. Peace. Hey, man, I thought that was good.